6, okay. Right then, have we got everyone? I think so. Does someone else want to start off, or shall I? First off, has everyone had a good time so far?
Yeah.
Does everyone feel like they've learned something and achieved something this weekend? Yeah. Fair enough. All right. So, if you remember, I did a very, very hacky deployment yesterday morning. It does actually work. So you can see I've got content. This is so obviously yesterday morning all I had was the sidebar, and I could log into the site. Now I've got content up there. I can come in, and we've actually got individual entries. I can also, I'm going to just steal the fact that there's a link to Quill straight here, and I'm going to sign out with yours. Rescan. We're going to get the one that's easiest. Or not. Either way, those were all posted with Quill, and I don't actually. I think my phone's in my bag or something, so I'm not going to try signing into something else right now. Including this top one. So this second one here, you can see I've got the formatting and everything in from the Quill's. Is it the Moment editor in Quill? Either way, the Medium editor, that's the one. You've got a nice rich text editor which will push HTML to your Micropub endpoint. So, and it gives you a title as well, so you can see the title in the top bar. So that's what I've achieved today. So who would like to go next?
Yeah, because mine's really bad. Is Hangouts on here?
Yeah,
I just posted my link through, then I can. What workspace?
You're on the right workspace.
No,
yeah.
Which one has the Hangouts?
Why do you want the Hangouts?
Because I need to get my web app. This one. Is there a chat?
Yep.
I hope everyone's enjoying this.
It's 6 for the other one.
Ah, 6. Okay, cool. Cheers. Okay. So, yeah, as you can see, it's quite massive. I was playing around with Sinatra mainly and was too lazy to set up a database, so I just stuck readers in the back end because it does queues. Yeah, I was just messing around with stuff. So this one and this one look pretty much exactly the same. The only difference is this one is tempting in very, very bad JavaScript. That's not JavaScript. To start using. So I only wrote this in the last 20 minutes because I realized I hadn't actually done what I was meant to be doing today. So I was like, oh no, I'm meant to be writing a static site, but I'd spent all the time tinkering with the backend, so I had to sit and bash out some JavaScript that did a thing. So I wrote all this out, and basically all it's doing is heading over to. How do I do this? Oh wait, this is. Okay, so it's heading to. Yeah, picking up whatever this is, coming along and then doing some sort of not very fancy, dirty, hacky rendering and printing it out with hopefully the intention of actually generating the JSON that is being put here, dumping it in a file, and then not having to deal with back-endy dynamic websites and just serve everything through Nginx. And It just makes it easier for firing and forgetting, because I trust Nginx more than I trust Sinatra or Flask or anything. So yeah, that is me.
Use one of mine because I can already. As you all know, mine's kind of only vaguely indie web related, with the ultimate goal of de-siloing things like what's it called, Slack, because Slack is obviously a silo.
I mean, there are other people working on stuff like that.
And probably in better ways, to be honest. So what I've been working on is an IRC library in Python, basically. And towards the end, I wrote a thing, which is High5bot, using this library with very, very few lines of code. It's bot, it's easy. And I'll leave it there. What is that? Once that's ready, but it takes a while to connect to an IRC server. But I've got to have a demo of some kind. I can't just be like, I wrote a library, lol. There it is. Okay, so that's in there now, and I can just I can type a High5 in, and it will respond to the or I can type it in the other way around and it will respond. Or I can do an arms in the air thing, and it'll do it back, which I think is really, really important in today's world.
So we've actually got a remote participant who's going to jump in next. So let's turn the sound up. Ali, you there?
Yes. Hello.
Hello.
I'm going to pull up my demo and share my screen with you. So just a second. Okay, can you see me? Or my screen? You can see yourself, I think.
Yep, we can see this.
Cool. So what I've been working on for the last couple of weeks is to get Micropub working. Micropub has been a bit of a challenge for me since I'm at the Jekyll, have a Jekyll blog, which is hosted on GitHub. So all content additions that I do has to be made as Git commits of static files. But I've got it up working. But yesterday, when I looked when I hooked it up to Onyogram, to pull in my Instagram photos into my blog, I discovered that it didn't mark up the language correctly. Since I do all of my blogging in English mainly, but I do a bit of my social interactions in Swedish, and I of course wanted this to be marked up correctly, partly so that you English people don't have to be confused with all my Swedish. So I provide RSS feeds and H feeds with just English content so that you don't have to get my Swedish content, which you won't understand anyway. So I'm thinking that I'm going to show you how. So what I've done is that since most Micropub clients don't support language, I decided that I needed to auto-detect the language. So if I respond to this post here in the iOS window you see on the left there, this is also something that I've been working on to get some iOS replying working. So here it pulls up an editor that's called editorial. it pre-populates it with an in reply to link. And now I'm going to write some Swedish for you. So you see lots of crazy characters with dots over them. Just have to write a couple of words so that the language algorithm can actually detect this. So then I will publish this to my own site. It asks me, do I want to publish it there? Yes, I want to publish it there. Now it talks to the server. Since it's on Heroku, it's a bit slow. Well, it has actually slept. So there it's published. I get a sheet. But if we actually look back to the browser, we can now see that, oh yeah, this is the site. If we go and look at the commits, we can see that I uploaded a social interaction 13 seconds ago. And if we look at this, we can see the actual, oh, that's not good. We can see the actual Jekyll file that was created. So it says that there's a layout, a date, the title, what it's in reply to, but the actual thing that I added today was that it actually detected that the language is Swedish, so that I can properly mark that up in at my blog. And if we now go to the actual blog and refresh here as well, we will see that here's the reply. And if we also inspect it, now this is going to be really small for you, but we can actually, oh no, okay, it should have been there, but it should have been marked up correctly as being in Swedish. Apparently that didn't work, so now I have something more to do. But yeah, that's it. My little project.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. I'll pop this back onto sharing us. Screen. And right.
Library, lol. Yeah, so as I was saying earlier, so we try and import events into the calendar software. You can have events which are, so on the web page you can mark up events in schema.org or in microformats. And so what I did there is basically a library to take an HTML, parse through this all, and then send back, give you back some raw PHP objects with all the fields laid out for you to do something with. And yeah, it works. We have passing tests. Woo! That's it basically. So cool.
So I'm in the competition for the best looking website of the day. So this is my beautiful website. So all this stuff is being input using Micropub. So I've gone through and tested about every client I possibly could in the world. So there's a couple of sort of longer text posts. There's some food ones and all sorts, so it all works. And the one thing I was quite happy with is, so yeah, there's like a food one, and yeah, so for everything I'm just showing the raw data as well just now, just for sort of debugging purposes. But one thing I'm quite happy with is all the sort of syndication is all modularized, so even posting to the actual website is just done by a syndication option. So I can choose whether I want to just post to social networks or I can post to the website as well. Yeah. Okay. So hopefully, yeah, so I have the option to do Twitter, Facebook, Google console, just log it out in the console, and Mongoose is what I'm using to store it on the actual site. So this is all modular, so I could just go through and add whatever service I want quite easily, and it just takes in the Micropub data. Yeah. It should show up down at the very bottom because it's upside down for some reason. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, that should show up on my Twitter and Facebook as well. Yeah, that's mostly the day's work.
Yeah. So I can't plug that in, otherwise it will restart my machine. Very nice. So I've been working on a plugin for Matrix, which will allow any Matrix client to send micropubs. So it'll make any Matrix client act as a micropub client. Something like that, probably. Which is all on GitHub. So I'm going to test this, thanks to Amy, by authoring as her. So basically, the idea is that you create.
You should get my site up first so you can see what's there in the post. And then
Okay, yeah, sure, that's good. Actually.
otherwise, it might not be as good.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It might be funny.
Well, you got to see tons of testing stuff anyway. Yay!
My site with test posts.
I did talk about it. So basically, on the Matrix side, you can invite a special user called Micropub, and then you can issue a command to it, just like you would issue commands to lots in IRC. And you basically say in the auth on the your domain, in this case Viara, and then it'll spit back a auth URL to do the whole indie auth thing, which you can then click through and then auth, which is already done. Like that. Right, and that comes through as authorized, which then also comes through as a message to say, yep, you've been authorized. And then I can say something like hello from Matrix. And then with any luck, this will actually come through and say success, and then it will be taped. And this is all done just with the Micropub on backend. Sounds good. Yay. And that's it. So,
Okay. So yesterday I had basically a text file. So I said I was interested in Sandstorm because you know, containerized microbugging and such. But I couldn't get it to work with my host because kernel modules and such. So I was using Docker and trying out a blogging service called Known, which was pretty cool. You know, you run it on your own machine and stuff. It's supposed to have it's supposed to work with Quill just, you know, natively, but it wasn't working for me for some reason, and it was Quill was reporting that it was getting back a blank error message. Well, no error message, just a blank message. And yeah, so I spent a good long while sort of debugging that, and I mean, I'm not really a developer. I don't really build things much. I prefer to just like screw around in the back end and figure out what's going on. So this gave me ample opportunity to screw around in the back end and figure out what was going on. So it turned out that the Docker container didn't have the certificate authority installed in it, because Docker has to be minimalist. So I found the bug and fixed it, and now. Cool. And now I'm a microblogger. Cool. I should probably say that GitHub before.
You want to say your name and kind of domain before you start demoing as well, a request from IRC.
Oh, okay. Just go. My domain is run.io. And what I've been trying to do today was digging through my pictures, trying to get information out, and publishing in a decent way, which might or might not hide microformats. There's a half-baked way to get them out through CSS. And what I've discovered is that EXIF is a pain. It's a standard that is not a standard. And what you see here is a lie. These are all the nice information after I filtered them with this much of PHP. And what you actually get out of a picture is a bunch of fields that mix up, and there's something important there, very important. And if you're lucky, you have 3 fields that are called title, and they're all valid, just so you don't know which one you want. And every kind of software will try to save a different piece, and there's no standard actually. The only standard is there is some data in there, get it out. You can still go through and get some pieces, and then with most of them are basic stuff, and with some pictures that I have, well, you can save keywords in there. You can get out the tags, and some have geolocation, but they're of course at the bottom of the page, yes. And then you can mark them as microformat with longitude, latitude, and something that can get in and place them on a map if you, like me, were too lazy to get the JavaScript to work to get the map on the page. This way, there's a space here where the map should have been. It didn't work very well. Google was happy to give me a map for 10 minutes, and then it stopped. And
in fairness, if you got all the maps on there, it would have been a horrible page to load.
Yes, it would have been static maps, not JavaScript. And that's about it. So this data, you can get it out, and it matches a lot of things you would like to have in microformats. So the plan is to continue this and then get a proper feed of items out eventually, one day.
Okay. Mine isn't as indie-webby as you might like, but what the hell?
I'd like to introduce yourself as well.
My name is Tim. Hi. My domain is UK. But for this demo, and there's a 50-50 chance this will work. Oh, come on, please. Yeah. So this is a domain I registered this afternoon just for the demo because, cool. And yeah, okay. So this is my blog, and this has a bunch of data. This is running Python, PyBlossom stuff, and some URLs there. And what I've done is I've written a new blog engine in Go that talks to a graph database and pull these out. So you may notice that what we've got here is we've got a type for this blog entry, and this is using the draft activity streams spec. So all this data is actually stored in Google Kaylee, which is a bleeding edge graph database. That's all using the activity streams vocabulary. Unfortunately, I can't show you that because you know, I'm sort of sitting my pants thing here. What can I say? Yeah. So this data, if we take this URL here, stop me if this gets boring, by the way. Right, so there's a post I made back in 2008, very relevant to this, because I haven't blogged for about 6 months. So this data is in a static file on my server somewhere, and I wrote a very hacky Perl script to parse it and turn it into this stuff. So ostensibly I use Golang, but in actual fact I hacked it together with Perl. Yeah. So yeah, it's not finished, but I'm hoping that that what I can do is sort of develop this a bit more, and then maybe even you might notice at the root of my domain I've got the Pumpio stuff. And what I'd really like to do is actually parse all of these notes as well, and bring those into the same backend, and then maybe implement all the crazy Pumpio API stuff, which is yeah, I don't think I've logged in. Because if I can get that compatible, then maybe there's some interoperability stuff potentially. Anyway, so that's it.
I don't have anything live yet, and I can't plug my computer in. So
I'm guessing it's all local on there.
yeah,
Okay.
I almost, very close to having incoming web mentions displayed on my site, as I have been. This is what I said at the end of Indie Webcamp Brighton, and have been working on it for the last 2 weeks. I'm still very close.
Do you have something local you could show? Because you could join the Hangout and screen share.
I don't think this can handle that. This Chromebook gets very upset when I try to open Google products. I mean, I could currently. I think I've sorted out the display stuff, but I'm just writing the thing to scrape everything from web mention I have basically. But you can see pages of people's faces. These are ones I put in manually. And then I have a mentions page, which has everything that you everyone can see.
Yep, that's a useful thing that we can all see.
Yeah, well, it'll be up soon, and then I'll show you all. There must be other people who at least have something to say about what they've done today.
I could say things, but it would just be angry and unpleasant. So.
There we go.
I'll let you.
Okay.
We'll let you.
That's it. That's the end of Indie Webcamp Edinburgh. Thank you for coming, and I hope everyone learned stuff. And I also hope that you'll continue to work on your personal sites after this weekend. And I'd like to find out if anyone is interested in doing like a weekly meetup for an hour or two in the evening to do personal website stuff. Is anyone remotely interested in doing that? Yeah, I can see a few people. So part of the Indie Webcamp community is this thing called Homebrew Website Club. So there are these meetups that are weekly or bi-weekly or sometimes monthly or sometimes ad hoc around the world as well. And you can check the wiki for stuff about that, but it's just like 2 hours in an evening. So we could totally start a homebrew website called Edinburgh if there are enough people interested. So, I mean, do you want to schedule one right now? Who's free Thursday evening? Like 6 p.m. I'm just like counter proposals welcome.
Surely ask who's not more frequently answer that question.
Who's not free? I mean, I'm thinking Thursday because it's really the only day I'm free, but I can figure something out.
Not this one, but that's just this week.
Okay, well, whatever.
Not this.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, I've got all your email addresses and stuff, so I'll figure something out.
And we've also got the first one in Gothenburg as well this coming week. So.
Yeah. So I guess I'll say a final thanks to our sponsors, obviously NCR for hosting us, thanks, and letting us use their coffee and snacks and other good things. And paying for lunch yesterday, but nobody was hungry for lunch today, so we didn't get that. And also thanks to Matrix for paying for breakfast, and breakfast was cheaper than we expected, so we're going to pay for dinner too with that, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So for anyone who's interested, we're going to go to the Old House en masse and order a ton of food, mostly nachos probably.
They do. It's highly suggested that you order nachos.
Yeah. Alright,
Is there anything else I need to say?
I think so. Thank you very much for everything setting us up.
Yeah.
Cool. It was fun. So I think we need to disassemble all the tables and put them away, and then make sure you pick up